ended up winning the election in 2021, not realizing that 2 years after that point, the former Prime Minister gave me the opportunity to be the Federal Minister of Small Business. In the baking world, it was very male-dominated. It was intimidating. Women face additional barriers than the average entrepreneurs. We often don't get approved for our loans. My competition is only me. And if I can improve and get better each and every day, that is improvement. You need to believe in yourself. And you need to trust your ability. The sooner you can lean into that, the more successful you're going to be.
This is Kripa Anand, and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, and specifically to our She and Success series, where we celebrate the strategic insights and inspiring journeys of women leaders and entrepreneurs. Hello and welcome to She and Success podcast, powered by Canadian SME. Today we proudly unveil a new era for Canadian women in business, the official launch of the She and Success business magazine and podcast. This moment marks more than just a beginning. It's a movement dedicated to empowering women to rise, grow, and shine. She and Success isn't just a podcast or publication. It's a voice, a vision, and a powerful community built on authenticity and ambition. Every story shared is an act of bravery. Every voice amplified is a reminder that when women lead, change follows. Here's to She and Success, where dreams become legacies and the next generation of women in businesses find their spotlight. Hello everyone, this is Kripa Anand and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, and specifically to our She and Success, where we celebrate the strategic insights and inspiring journeys of women leaders and entrepreneurs. Today we have the distinct privilege of hosting a leader whose journey embodies the very essence of breaking barriers and empowering women in business. Our guest brings an extraordinary background spanning corporate banking, entrepreneurship, media production, and public service. Elected to the House of Commons in 2021, she made history as the first Filipino-Canadian woman elected to Parliament. Joining us today is the Honourable Rechie Valdez, Minister of Women and Gender Equality and Secretary of State, Small Business and Tourism. Minister Valdez is committed to advancing gender equality, strengthening economic participation, and creating opportunities through inclusive policy. Today, we'll delve into her path from entrepreneur to cabinet minister, her advocacy for women-led businesses, the power of mentorship, and how Canadian women can leverage digital tools to scale their impact. So before further ado, let's welcome this very special guest. Minister Valdez, welcome to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Kripa, for having me, and congratulations to She and Success with the Canadian SME magazine.
Thanks a lot. It means a lot. Now, Rechie, your journey from, Zambia to Canada through corporate banking to entrepreneurship and now politics. Please start with the story. Where did it start from all?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to share a little bit of background, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but parents, when they immigrate to a new country, lots of pressure. And I was the oldest child. Were you the oldest child?
I'm the only child.
Okay, so then even more pressure on you, Kripa.
Right, yeah.
Well, being the oldest child, my dad is an engineer and my mom's a nurse. Uh-huh. And my dad told me, well, the only path that makes sense for you to do is to become an engineer like me. So I ventured into just thinking like that was it, following my dad's dreams, only to discover once I got into university that that's not exactly the path that was for me. Mm-hmm. And I had to make a decision in university because it's either, when your gut's telling you you're not in the right spot.
Your sixth sense, yeah.
Yeah, it takes over and you just know it's not right. So in university, that was my first pivot where I chose to go against the wishes of my parents, not an easy thing to do, and choose something for myself. So I graduated in computer science because I loved coding, loved programming.
Wow.
Finished in computer science. Then that's when I eventually got into corporate banking when I moved back to Toronto. And I, grew up in the bank 15 years. That's where I dedicated many, many of my years. And again, thinking that's going to be it for my life.
Right.
Lo and behold, as you know, when my daughter Cassidy turned 1, I decided to make her first birthday cake. And this cake is very symbolic because without me trying and attempting to bake this cake, I would have never discovered my creative passion. So I delved into my first foray into entrepreneurship was becoming a self-taught baker. I built my first business from the ground up, cakes, dessert tables, wedding cakes, etc. And I fell in love with it. It was my creative passion. It's where I wanted to bring my customers' vision to life.
Right.
Fast forward, my second business, after that one became a success, I decided to incorporate Filipino flavors, the flavors I grew up in my childhood.
Of course, yeah.
Like ube, calamansi, mango. And so my second business allowed me to create a whole line of products, which ended up in 2 national grocery stores here in Mississauga.
Wow.
So from that one pink two-tier vanilla fondant cake to a whole foray or like lineup of desserts, this is the power of being an entrepreneur. It's just that you can, with something that you love, you can pivot into so many different things.
You can create.
Exactly.
Right.
And you can, literally have it come to life. But the reason why I talk about this story is because I'm not a typical politician. I didn't get here in the, becoming a lawyer, etc. Instead, my journey into politics started through my entrepreneurship because I fell in love with people and community. I met so many amazing women entrepreneurs who had different visions, different dreams. And I realized by supporting our community, by creating events that help bring us together to talk about how do we become our most authentic selves? How do we become successful business entrepreneurs?
Right.
I realized my strength wasn't just being an entrepreneur. My strength was bringing people together to help inspire them to pursue and live authentically and be their best selves. And that ultimately in 2021, I made this crazy decision to run, and I didn't think I was going to win, but the rest is history. So I ended up winning the election in 2021, but then not realizing that 2 years after that point, the former prime minister gave me the opportunity to be the federal minister of small business. And that's when I had the opportunity of meeting you for the first time in your former podcast.
Right.
And then in a new government with our new prime minister, he then asked me to become the Minister of Women and Gender Equality and Secretary of State for Small Business and Tourism. So the reason why I wanted to elaborate on this is because this is the importance of Canadian SME.
Right.
Every entrepreneur has a story. Every entrepreneur has a dream to bring their best selves, whether it's a product, service. But Canadian SME tells the story of those incredible entrepreneurs, celebrates their success, rewards them when they're doing something significant and unique or innovative. And I think it's really important as Canadians to celebrate our successes, to inspire the next generation to be able to take on something new.
Wow, that's a very powerful and essential perspective in the intersection of cultural background and, political leadership. Thank you so much for your kind words, Rechie. From your extensive experience in entrepreneurship and, everything that you've done, majority of the sectors right now, anywhere in the world, not just in Canada, are male-dominated. So what was that biggest barrier that you faced in a male-dominated space?
I'm so glad you asked that because I'll be honest with you, when I first started, it was very intimidating. And in the baking world, it wasn't women dominated at the time when I first started. It was very male dominated.
Yeah.
It was intimidating. And when you're intimidated by something, sometimes what that will end up turning into in your business is sometimes maybe a woman not pursuing their dream or pulling back, holding back, not giving her all.
Right.
And that's why as women, it's important that we come together and we support one another.
Right.
Because by sharing stories, by supporting one another, that is the power of collaboration that I think uplifts us whenever we're having challenges. And so one of the things, again, back to the importance of storytelling, we need to be able to overcome that. The second barrier naturally is capital. As a woman entrepreneur, often when we, any entrepreneur has challenges with applying for any capital or getting funding for their business,
Right.
but women face additional barriers than the average entrepreneurs. We often don't get approved for our loans. We don't get the right supports that are catered to what
Right.
we need.
It's not the same playing field for
It is
women.
it is not the same playing field.
Yeah.
And that's why I love to talk about our women entrepreneurship strategy, because that, I'm telling you, from 2018, we've invested $7 billion, helped over 400,000 women entrepreneurs across this country.
Wow.
That creating this ecosystem, a very supportive one, has really propelled women and all these different sectors, different industries, especially in STEM. We are breaking barriers, pushing the limits on what can be done as entrepreneurs. And I'm so inspired by what I see across the country when I meet these incredible women entrepreneurs. And I'm sure you too get to meet them as well, through Canadian SME and as well through your podcast.
Well, definitely, the world is changing towards a positive direction, and we are just here to, help them move forward in that direction further. Hello, Canadian women entrepreneurs. Are you looking for support and a stronger network? Tune in to Minister Rechie Valdez as she shares the government's commitment to addressing the critical barriers to funding and growth. Learn how your community can be your greatest asset. Now, as a former business owner, Richie, storytelling is very important, and I understand that you were also a host. So, please go ahead and explain to our listeners how important is storytelling, especially from a point of view of an entrepreneur.
I'm going to answer that by sharing why I thought it was important to storytell back then as well. Do you remember in COVID when everything got shut down?
Yeah.
What was amazing? Okay, so it all also was really negative. We had a lot of downsides to COVID, but there was an upside.
Right.
When everything shut down and when the whole world changed, business changed, businesses needed to adapt.
Yeah.
But also people who are kind of hanging out at home with not much to do because everything was shut down, they're like, what can I do? And it was actually a time where people were self-exploring, am I doing the right thing? Is this what I want for my life? Because some people lost their jobs. Some people wanted to pivot to do something different. What I was trying to do was promote creativity. So what I was promoting was being fearlessly creative. And often creativity has, you kind of think of creativity like, is it dance? Is it, you categorize creativity in a very small way.
Right.
But if you channel it as a creative and go fearlessly into it, you end up becoming extremely innovative. And the solutions you produce end up being better for society, better for your business model. And so back to what I was saying, storytelling was a way for me to highlight that so that people who were trying to figure out what they were going to do with their life may be inspired to actually take the first step and become an entrepreneur. And when you can do that, how many stories do I know of newcomers who come to Canada, international students who have come to this country, who have opened these huge gyms, who've actually have their own pizza store.
Right.
They wouldn't have been able to create their own business had they not started. So starting is the first step. And of course, our federal government is here to support you along the way.
Wow, that's beautifully articulated. Thank you so much for that, Richie. Storytelling is clearly a strategic tool and not just another marketing add-on, right? So if you treat it that way, it's going to give you results in a similar manner as well. All right, it's time for a quick break right here, but don't go anywhere. When we return, Minister Valdez shares her insights on how women entrepreneurs can harness the power of AI, digital tools, and innovation to grow their business while staying true to who they are. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Canadian SME Small Business Magazine. Canadian SME is the premier and most relevant platform for SMEs in Canada. We highlight growing businesses and thought leaders with a strong focus on innovation, growth, and marketing to generate the results you believe you are capable of. Overvision is to empower Canadian small and medium enterprises. Canadian SME Small Business Magazine is dedicated to empowering SMEs by providing expert insights from industry leaders. Our content is practical, actionable, and tailored to meet the unique needs of small and medium enterprises. Through our comprehensive portal, we offer solutions to diverse business queries, all in one place. Our mission is to engage, educate, and nurture SMEs, helping them scale, connect, and thrive in their community. Canadian SME is more than just a publication. It's a platform where small business owners from across Canada can connect, learn, and thrive annually. Canadian SME orchestrates 3 significant events: the Small Business Show in the first quarter, the Small Business Awards in the second quarter, and the Small Business Summit in October, aligning with the Small Business Month celebrations. Our mission is to foster community, knowledge, and growth among Canada's entrepreneurial spirits. We would like to thank the Canadian small business owners for trusting Canadian SME, and we also would like to thank our long-term supporting partners, our exclusive banking partner RBC, our exclusive shipping partner UPS, our exclusive preferred HR and payroll partner ADP, our exclusive tech partner Google Canada, and our exclusive knowledge partner A1 Global College for their continued support. We also would like to thank our strategic partners. Canadian SME Small Business Magazine could not have prospered without the generous support of our partners. Without their constant belief in us, we would never have excelled in bringing the best tools and resources for the small business community in Canada.
A big thank you to all our partners. Welcome to the Small Business Summit 2025, presented by Amazon Business, AI-driven innovation, empowering Canadian SMEs. Thank you for being a part of Canadian SME Small Business Magazine.
Welcome back, listeners. Let's dive right in as Minister Valdez walks us through how technology and authenticity can go hand in hand in shaping the future of women-led businesses. Now, Richie, artificial intelligence is something which is everywhere, right? Let's do a little time travel. If I were to give you a time machine right now and say we were to travel 5 or 10 years into the future, when you get out of that time machine, how exactly do you envision artificial intelligence changing the scenario, especially the employer-employee scenario in Canada?
Well, I think the future of artificial intelligence is so vast. I don't think anyone can comprehend where we're going to be, because you've seen how fast
Exactly.
technology has advanced over the years. But I see artificial intelligence as an incredible tool. We see how it enhances our daily lives,
Yeah.
how it can make us become more efficient. It helps us get access to information easier.
Yeah.
What's important, and I want to give a shout out to Minister Evan Solomon, the Minister of Artificial Intelligence. What he's trying to do is ensure that from a small business perspective, artificial intelligence remains like because artificial intelligence began in Canada.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that Canadian entrepreneurship, Canadian artificial intelligence remains number one. And the way that we're going to do it is make sure that we're investing in it, that we're supporting entrepreneurs who are in the artificial intelligence space.
Mhm.
And also, for me, it's connecting how do we help entrepreneurs leverage the artificial intelligence in their business so that they can adopt and become more productive? How can their solution become better? How can their offerings for their customers become easier? And so those are the things that we're really looking into now.
Mhm.
So I appreciate the minister's leadership in this. And then the last aspect that I will talk about is more the safety of artificial intelligence,
Uh-huh.
being very cognizant that as we enter this space, it's also, there's a lot of fears around, how do we adopt to this technology? So a lot of these are the things that we're taking into consideration as we develop policy that helps Canadians and helps small businesses.
Very well answered. Digital transformation is accelerating, and women entrepreneurs must leverage new tools to, scale without losing their own unique business voice. So, yes, AI is there for everyone out there, but for women specifically who are a little hesitant to, try the AI or the e-commerce, what message would you like to give to them? Because more than anything else, it's also a mindset issue. So, what's your message to them?
I think that number one, I don't think it's a good idea to fear artificial intelligence. I think it's important to be open-minded to it and to, take some time. And again, listen, when we're busy entrepreneurs, it's hard to make time for anything these days. But if you make time to learn the cool tools that are out there, there's some
Right.
amazing artificial intelligence startup companies whose solutions can really help your business model.
Right.
And what we're trying to do with our federal government is through the regional artificial intelligence programs and supports through our regional development agencies. So, for example, here in Ontario, we have the Federal Development Agency of Ontario. I think it's important for those entrepreneurs to reach out
Yes.
to get the advice and
To
help.
get the support, yes.
And then through that conversation, it can lead to a solution that will help an entrepreneur.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Now, Rechie, every successful leader has a support system. Your dedication to the community is evident, firstly, in all that you do. But I'm sure there have been mentors in your life as well, right? So, what roles do mentors and community, plays in one's life from your perspective?
Yeah, mentorship is so incredibly important. I've had mentors throughout my entire life. I've been really fortunate, but mentors don't magically appear out of anywhere.
Yes.
As an individual, whether you're in any different career or whether an entrepreneur, I think it's important for me to get this message that women have to be willing to put their hand up and ask for help.
Yes.
And I think what's great about getting access to a mentor is if you see someone who inspires you, don't be afraid to say, hey, I really love what you're doing. I'm new at this. Can I get help? And I can tell you there's not very many people that will say no to that.
Exactly.
Because most, especially for women, we love to give back and we love to help others. That's the beauty of the way that we are.
Right.
We're so compassionate. But the first step is putting yourself out there and saying, I need some advice, got a few questions, will you help out? And anyone that's ever asked me for help, I always say, yes, no problem. I'm here to assist in any which way. So mentorship is incredibly important. Asking for help is stop being shy.
Right.
Like if you need help, ask
Just
for
ask
help.
for it, yeah.
And the other thing there's two other aspects of this. Whichever team that you have there to support you, really lean on your team. I'm very fortunate to have an incredible constituency team and a ministerial team. I would not be who I am today and be able to deliver on what Canadians expect of me without my teams. So really leaning into your team. And of course, last but not least, but the most important thing is to lean in your family. You have siblings, parents, anyone that is within your tribe is what I like to call it. Anyone that's in your circle that supports you, lean in, ask for help from them. Because I think it's important as you're going through your entrepreneurial journey that you have that support system there, because there's going to be rough times. There's going to be times where it's tougher, but having that team allows you to have someone that has your back to keep you going.
Wow, that was such a heartfelt message, Rechie. As a woman, we often, keep playing so many roles: a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur. So you're a mother and an entrepreneur and a leader. So what legacy do you want to leave for future women leaders? What do you think? What values should they carry forward?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. For me, the legacy that I want to leave behind is I want to share with you kind of something that I've always had in my heart growing up.
Yes, please do.
Ever since I grew up, I've always had a phrase in my head, which is that I've always wanted to leave the world a better place than it was from the previous day. So it's like, what tangible action, what tangible thing have I done to make an impact in this world, either an impact to an individual. In this case, I'm a policymaker. What impact am I making from a policy decision perspective? And I believe that for those people who feel like they don't have a voice, I can tell you that you're wrong. If you speak your mind, if you advocate for the things that matter to you, you are making a difference, not just for your life, but you might not even realize you're making an impact on other people's lives.
Yes.
And so that has always been me versus myself. My competition is only me. And if I can improve and get better each and every day, that is improvement. That's moving forward. And having your voice really, really matters. So I'm encouraging everyone out there to believe in themselves, to take action, small, medium, large, whatever it is. And by doing that, you will slowly create what will ultimately be the legacy you want to leave behind. And I think my final comment is, a couple days ago, I was so privileged to make a huge announcement.
Mhm.
This announcement through Women and Gender Equality was our renewal and commitment of $660 million over 5 years and ongoing funding to help ensure that we're empowering women in the economy, that we're helping support the 2S LGBTQI plus community, and we're helping tackle gender-based violence. This is a legacy that I believe that I've focused and put my heart into, and that's what I want to leave behind, is just knowing that we have a commitment to always help empower women and gender diverse people.
That's such a beautiful and inspiring message. Your leadership and vision are clearly paving the way for a more inclusive and more prosperous future for women in Canada. So thank you so much, Rechie, for all that you do. Now, I'm loving this conversation and I don't want you to go. And we're definitely going to have one more time where we can dive into such deeper discussions. But for now, before we let you go, Rechie, if there's one piece of final advice that you have for our listeners today, something that you want the women entrepreneurs to remember about confidently navigating their entrepreneurship journey, what would you say and why?
I'm just going to recap everything I just said, which is that you need to believe in yourself and you need to trust your ability, trust what's inside, because when you the sooner you can lean into that, the more successful you're going to be in having confidence and living your most authentic self and believing in who you truly are. And the more you can tap and harness that, you can easily navigate the rest of the world, no matter what you're doing, no matter what career you have, no matter what lifestyle or family you have, and more importantly, no matter what entrepreneurial hardship or adventure you put yourself into. Those are the most simple, most fundamental things that you can do for yourself.
That's such a powerful and actionable message, Rechie. Thank you so much for being here on this podcast and sharing your time and vision with us. It was such a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Kripa.
All right, that was an insightful conversation with the Honourable Rechie Valdez, Minister of Women and Gender Equality and Secretary of State, Small Business and Tourism, on her journey, the critical barriers facing women entrepreneurs, the power of storytelling, and the future of women-led businesses in Canada. To all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to the She and Success podcast. We really appreciate your continued support. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. Also, don't forget to visit our website, sheandsuccess.ca. Until next time, keep shining, keep building. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off. Hello and welcome to She and Success podcast, powered by Canadian SME. Today, we proudly unveil a new era for Canadian women in business, the official launch of the She and Success business magazine and podcast. This moment marks more than just a beginning. It's a movement dedicated to empowering women to rise, grow, and shine. She and Success isn't just a podcast or publication. It's a voice, a vision, and a powerful community built on authenticity and ambition. Every story shared is an act of bravery. Every voice amplified is a reminder that when women lead, change follows. Here's to She and Success, where dreams become legacies and the next generation of women in businesses find their spotlight.